Hi there, I'm Kathy Lampole at That Bead Lady Bead Store in Newmarket, Ontario. This afternoon I'm going to show you how we can finish a bracelet or a necklace very professionally. We often have people come into the store and they've started to do some beading, but perhaps haven't been successful with finishing their bracelets, not happy with the way the bracelet is being put together. So I'm going to show you the way that we do it here in the store that is going to stay together, it's not going to fall apart, and it's going to look very professional. The product that I'm using to string my basic strung bracelets on is Soft Flex beading wire. It's a flexible beading wire, very strong, very flexible. It's the only product that we sell in the store for stringing. You can put together a selection of beads for your bracelets in various styles and shapes. All of these samples here are created with Swarovski elements, which is my favorite bead to work with. So I'm just going to go ahead and string some beads on my line. It doesn't require a needle. It just requires putting the beads on the Soft Flex wire. The design part of this is up to you, the designer. The only tools required for this project are wire cutters and crimping pliers. It does require some good vision because sometimes the beads are small and the holes are small. At the end of the beading wire here, I have a bead stopper. It's a very handy little gadget that keeps the beads on the wire while you're stringing your beads. You don't want the beads falling off the end as you're creating your design. Couple more beads and I think it will be long enough. So once I'm happy with the length of my bracelet, I haven't measured this at this point, but I'm going to, at this point, decide that that's the length that I like and that's the style that I like, and I'm happy with the layout. The next thing that goes on the beading wire is the crimp bead. The crimp beads can come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. The best crimp bead to use for this beading wire are 2 by 2 millimeter sterling crimp beads. Be sure to buy those and nothing else. These ones, 2 by 2 sterling silver crimp beads, will always hold on the Soft Flex beading wire. You won't have to worry about them breaking, cracking, and falling off. One crimp bead goes on the wire. The next thing that goes on the wire is a wire guardian. It's a small horseshoe-shaped metal piece that protects the wire as it goes through the hole of your clasp. So the beading wire simply goes one side down the other of that horseshoe-shaped piece. It's called a wire guardian. Then I'm putting the clasp on the wire guardian. So the wire guardian sits through the hole of the clasp. I'm pulling it tight to the bracelet and feeding my beading wire back down the crimp and back down a few beads. I don't like to cut the wire off right at the crimp. I like the wire to go down a few more beads. Now I'm ready to close the crimp. The crimp bead again is that little small 2 by 2 sterling piece right there next to the bead. I'm using crimping pliers. These are basic crimping pliers. You don't need jumbo crimping pliers, micro crimping pliers, just basic crimping pliers. Be sure to get the ones that are branded crimping pliers. There's 2 holes in the crimping pliers. The first hole closest to your hand is in the shape of a C. That's the hole that we will use first. We simply line up that hole of the plier over the crimp tube and press down gently. Doesn't take a lot of strength. That has now closed the crimp. It has flattened the crimp with a divot, with a hole, a crease down the middle of the crimp tube. Now I take my crimping plier and I use the oval tool at the tip. And I'm crimping the crimp tube again, which will now fold it in half. Now the crimp tube is folded in half and that is secure. Give it a test to make sure it's not going to slip. If it's tight, it's going to hold. I would complete the other end of the bracelet in the same manner. Now the other little fancy item that we like to use on the bracelet to disguise that sterling crimp, because maybe you're using a different color of a clasp, maybe you're using something bronze or a different color of metal, and you don't want to use that sterling crimp. But remember I said that sterling crimp is the best crimp to hold on this particular wire. We can disguise that crimp by buying a matching crimp cover. The crimp cover is placed over the crimp, and we gently close the crimp cover, and now it just looks like a round little bead at the end of your bracelet. The crimp is actually disguised. I would finish the end of the bracelet in the same manner, and there you have a very neatly strung bracelet that is very strong. It's going to stay together. It's not going to fall apart. You'll be proud to wear it and proud to give it as a gift.